Today, we're looking at a deep dive into the East Coast-West Coast hip-hop conflict.
Yeah, this piece details some really explosive new testimony around the murders of Tupac and the Notorious B.I.G. and, the alleged roles of Sean Combs and Suge Knight.
And the level of evidence here is it's phenomenal. It's so exhaustive, and it really doesn't pull any punches, either on the corporate stuff or the alleged criminal actions.
Right. So given how much there is, our goal here is clarity. How do we take this mountain of facts and structure it so it just lands with maximum shock right from the beginning?
That's the whole thing, isn't it?
Yeah, because the material has so many of these high-impact moments. I mean, Keffe D's proffer session with the feds, the details of that whole $1 million hit.
The Bad Boy Records abuses, which are appalling.
Exactly. But to really capture the audience with that shocking hook, the opening needs a central, unifying thesis. It has to be more than just a timeline of crimes.
I totally agree. Right now, the weakness is that it risks sounding like two different stories. You have the murder plot over here and the bad business practices over there. But the material is implying they come from the same cold source of malice.
Yes. And that's why the first big point is this. To really grab the audience, the opening needs to crystallize that central idea and move beyond a simple crime timeline.
Because those threads, the violence and the financial exploitation, they're not quite tied together tightly enough at the start.
So the suggestion is, we need to immediately frame this whole narrative, not just as a report on murders, but as a study of ruthless ego, of power.
And how that power allegedly weaponized everything: corporate success, friendship, even street gangs.
Right, the hook has to reveal that the betrayal was just as systemic as the violence was. So how do we make that visceral from the jump?
Well, I think you start by contrasting the public image of the central figure. The entrepreneur, the guy who just wants to dance, with the most damning personal betrayals in the material.
Show that manipulating money and manipulating life came from the exact same place.
Exactly. So for a concrete example, you could pinpoint the exact moment where the corporate power structure allegedly intersects with gang violence.
You mean the detail about Zip, the New York street figure, allegedly setting up the intro between Combs and Keffe D?
That's the one. Keffe D, the Southside Crips shot caller, the guy who eventually confessed.
That's a devastating nexus right there. A music mogul allegedly using a New York dealer to talk to a Vegas gang member about.
It is. I mean, that's your thesis in itself.
It is. You could frame the whole opening around that one moment of convergence. Something like a possible thesis could be, this is the story of how the alleged architects of hip-hop's greatest tragedies also systematically betrayed their closest friends, financially, professionally, and ultimately fatally.
And right there, it's instantly elevated. It's not a cold case file anymore.
No. The focus shifts from just who did it to what did the character of that power allow them to do. The hook becomes immediate. It becomes shocking.
Okay, so that brings us to the structure. We've got this devastating thesis, but the facts need to be arranged to support it.
Right. The structure should group all this evidence to show a consistent, escalating pattern of behavior. You have to link the financial crimes to the violence.
And that's where I think we lose a little momentum. The weakness is how it jumps back and forth.
Yeah, it jumps between the really specific details of Tupac's murder, Keffe D's proffer, the $500,000 payment because Suge didn't die, and then
you're over at Bad Boy, talking about the shell game and the funeral recoupment, which is just as damning, but it feels separate.
By jumping like that, you let the audience compartmentalize the crimes.
So the suggestion is to create these clear thematic blocks. You have to show that the manipulation you see in the business deals, it directly foreshadowed the capacity for violence.
You want the reader to feel a sense of inevitability.
Exactly. It's about pacing, letting the evidence build and escalate.
So if we look at the alleged Tupac plot, for a concrete example, we can't just list the facts.
No.
You have to cluster them. Put all the details of the Las Vegas incident together. You start with Tupac assaulting Orlando Anderson.
Then the meeting of the conspirators right after, where they allegedly say, this is the perfect occasion.
And then the two cars, including the white Cadillac, heading toward the 6062 Club. That tightness makes the plot feel executed, deliberate, not random.
And from there, you have to bridge that violence back to the control over the second victim, Biggie.
Oh, the canceled flight to London. That detail is so critical.
It's essential. It connects the financial control directly to the fatal outcome. Puff reportedly insists Biggie stay in LA, right? Overruling his whole team.
And a former associate puts it down to, what was it? Ego, power, tripping, all of it?
That one decision is such a critical turning point. It shows this level of personal control. The same control that pulled Biggie's Rolling Stone cover for his own album or changed the contract after he died, now it's being applied to his physical safety.
It bridges the financial control with the final fatal decisions.
Right. If the audience sees that level of manipulation over business and publicity,
Then they're prepared to accept the manipulation over safety and life.
and you have to use the specifics of the bad boy financial structure, that alleged shell game, as evidence of systemic predatory behavior.
That's where the details about Coombs owning the studio, paying himself to be in the videos, artists only getting their initial advance, all that infrastructure of control becomes crucial.
It proves the motive wasn't just random greed. It was a calculated system.
A system designed to make every dollar flow to the center. And that sets the stage for the ultimate betrayal.
Which I think leads right into our third point. And this is where the material gets really unique and profound.
I agree. While the murder allegations are the hook, the most emotionally impactful stuff here lies in the detailed accounts of personal and financial betrayal against friends and allies.
This is the core of the character assessment. It's what the audience is really here for, you know?
Yeah. And the weakness is that if we don't elevate these details, the financial exploitation, it could just be seen as secondary. You know, standard industry greed.
And then its emotional impact gets lost next to the high-stakes violence.
Right. We have to make sure these accounts of personal malice, the things that really show the depth of the antagonist character, are given the maximum emotional resonance. It's not just about money.
It's about humiliation. It's about control.
So the suggestion here is to dedicate focused attention to the specific, actionable examples of cruelty that go way beyond a standard criminal enterprise.
We need the moments that really viscerally illustrate this alleged disregard for human respect, for partnership.
Okay, so let's get concrete. The baseball bat incident.
Oh yeah.
It's visceral. It's crucial evidence of coercion that links alleged violence directly to financial theft. You have to detail that account. Sean Combs allegedly walking into a colleague's office with a bat and a suitcase of stocks.
Threatening him until he gives up his 25% ownership.
And then promising to give it back later.
You have to emphasize that, because that's not some passive corporate maneuvering. That is alleged armed intimidation to extract wealth.
It shows a willingness to use physical threats to get assets. And that just raises the stakes for every other allegation in the piece.
And speaking of raising the stakes, we absolutely have to maximize the emotional punch of the ultimate disrespect, the stuff aimed at Biggie's memory.
The funeral. The claim that Coombs planned the biggest funeral.
But intended to make the costs a recoupable charge to Biggie in death.
A hidden business write-off.
That hypocrisy. It's so profound, hidden under this public performance of grief. That detail has to be emphasized, because it just shatters any sense of partnership.
I think that detail, maybe more than any murder accusation, speaks to a character so focused on the bottom line that even death is just an accounting entry.
100%. And we can't overlook the smaller stuff, the low-level financial cruelty. It paints a complete picture of this alleged control.
That's a great point. You contrast the narrative of his, $100 million success with the detail of giving the artist Craig Mack $100.
$100 in cash from a huge wad of money.
After Mack had a Grammy nomination, but clearly had no money.
And that contrast between this huge, flashy wealth and that tiny, performative handout, it elevates the story. It's not just criminality anymore.
It's systematic dehumanization. It's a lack of respect for the talent that built the whole thing.
Yeah. We have to spend time on how those small cruelties illustrate the overall pattern, just as much as the huge allegations of murder.
This is really powerful source material. And with these kinds of refinements, I think the audience will truly understand the architecture of this alleged ruthlessness.
So, to summarize the actionable steps. First, forge an explosive, unifying thesis statement that captures the systemic nature of the alleged betrayal and violence.
Right. One that links that public image with the private malice.
Second, structure the narrative to clearly connect the financial exploitation, the shell game, the contract disputes,
with the escalating violence in the Tupac and Biggie plots. Make that timeline tight.
And finally, elevate those visceral personal betrayals, the baseball bat, the funeral costs, the casual cruelty, to maximize the emotional shock and fully reveal the alleged character of the antagonist.
That's the feedback. It's all aimed at maximizing the impact of this intensive investigation.
We invite you to implement these suggestions and please submit the revised material back in for another critique.